Have you ever wondered how a bare benchy without any outer layers look? Well, I have, and now I have the results here. Just to start, this is just a regular test cube and a regular benchy. The rest of the stuff you see here, they're printed in the exact same arrangement, just without any outer layers and different styles of infill. So I guess I'll start with the worst result I had. I tried three tests, and this is again by far the worst one, the cubic one. You can see that it doesn't look that great from the outside. Maybe it's okay from the top and bottom, but yeah, it's not great. And well, same can be said for the benchy. But the other two results I have here, well, they look pretty nice in my opinion. So first of all, let's look at the Gyroid Infill. This actually is what started me printing these prints. I saw something by Tim on the Discord, and well, that led me to doing this. So there we go, this is a Gyroid Infill Voron test cube. You can see that it actually looks pretty nice. You wouldn't expect just infill to look good, but honestly I like this. So I'm pretty happy with this, and you can see that the benchy from some angles isn't great, but from others. But yeah, this is how the benchy looks with that. Also have 3D hex printed. Only these were printed on the Voron 0. Rest of what I showed were printed on the V2. Well, here it is, the 3D hex. I think this also looks pretty nice. And on the benchy as well, again the overhang parts are printed solidly because of slicer limitations, but other than that, it actually looks pretty nice as well. To slice this, all you have to normally do is just set your parameters to 0 and also your top and bottom layers to 0. If you do have bed adhesion issues, you can have one layer on the bottom if you wish. But other than that, all you have to do is select the infill pattern. Now, there is one thing that I want to say, and that is I'm normally a fan of Super Slicer, and I like using that, but there is a problem with this, and you can see that on the benchies. So if we go with Gyroid, for example, here, which seems to be the most popular infill pattern for printing, you can see that the slicer overrides some parts of it with just a regular outer layer, as you can see on the benchy here, and that's why my prints didn't look so well. So as I said, I'm normally a fan of not Prusa Slicer, but Super Slicer, but for this I recommend using Cura. So you can see that in this slice on Cura, for example, you can see that it didn't do the same thing. So yeah, there might be a setting somewhere hidden in the menu, but I couldn't find something that can change that setting. Tried changing a few of the settings, they didn't work. But if you do know of a solution, leave it in the comments and I'll highlight it so that other people can see it. And if you're watching this video and you want to use Super Slicer or Prusa Slicer, just check the comments, maybe someone knows. But unless there is a solution, you should use Cura, or haven't tried Kiss Slicer, but maybe that works as well. As for the infill pattern, you do have a few options. As I said, Gyroid works well, but for example, grid isn't going to work that well. So if we let Cura slice this, it likes taking its time, as you know. You can see that there are many flat walls on the outer finish, and if you remember, the cubic print didn't look so great, and same will happen with this as well. This is not going to work that well. But yeah, actually I can just show you the cubic, assuming the cubic on Cura is the same as Super Slicer. and yeah, it's the same. You can see that there are many vertical walls, I guess you could call them, and yeah, that's not going to work that great, but I'm not too familiar with Cura's infill patterns, so just gonna demonstrate them on Super Slicer. For example, 3D honeycomb works pretty well. Again, other than the issue I mentioned before, you can see that the outer finish does look pretty decent, and yeah, it's a good option. So what you need to do is just experiment with these. For example, let's see how Octet looks like. And no, this is not going to work that well either, because of the same reason. So just experiment with the available options and see what works, what doesn't work. As I said, from the ones I tried on Super Slicer, 3D honeycomb and gyroid seem to work well, but for example octagram spiral isn't going to work well at all. Let me show you why. So if you look at it from the top, you can see that there isn't anything connecting these pieces together, and horizontally it's just vertical triangles basically, and that's not going to work because they're not connected. That the print won't stay in one piece and probably won't even adhere to the bed properly. So yeah, this is not a good option. And let's see what this looks like on Cura. So this is lines, and looks like this will work well. So yeah, you just have to experiment with this. Just wanted to highlight this interesting method for printing parts. Obviously this is not something that's that practical. This is just, you know, for fun and experimentation, but you can get pretty cool looking prints IMO. So yeah, if you have time and if you want to, you can experiment with this and see what you can print. And well, yeah, that's kind of it for this video. So yeah, I hope this was interesting to you, and thanks for watching.